Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going on an absolute mind-bending journey. We're scaling the ladder of the most valuable things in existence. We're going to explore exactly how humanity assigns value to everyday objects, to plots of land, to massive megastructures, and ultimately to the very building blocks of the universe itself. Okay, but first, I want you to imagine something for a second. Let's say you manage to save $1 billion every single day for your entire life. Even with all that cash, what could you still not afford? It sounds completely impossible, right? Like $1 billion a day? Well, we are going to reveal that massive price tag at the end. But to truly wrap our heads around that kind of absurd wealth, we really have to start a little smaller. Section 1. The millions, humans and art. So there's actually a hilarious and honestly slightly morbid discrepancy in how a human being is officially valued. If you broke yourself down into basic raw ingredients, you'd cost only about $152,000. Well, chemically speaking, you're pretty much the same as a pig, just slightly tastier. But since you're already fully assembled and contributing to society, the US government officially values your life at $14.2 million. Actually, they might be lowballing you. If someone were to hypothetically harvest all your organs, those parts could fetch around $40 million on the open market. So hey, you're pretty expensive. But we can go way, way higher. Let's move over to art and look at this massive jump. $1 billion. This is the staggering valuation of the most famous painting in the world, the Mona Lisa. The story behind this painting brilliantly shows how value can be completely circumstantial. Back in 1503 in Italy, a rich silk merchant simply asked Leonardo da Vinci to paint his wife. The funny thing is, Da Vinci never actually finished it for the guy. He held onto it, sold it right before he died, and then it literally just bounced around the bedrooms of various powerful guys. It eventually ended up at a museum where, frankly, nobody really cared about it. That is, until it got stolen. Once it was finally recovered, they took it on this massive PR campaign. And now this 30-inch wooden plank, which is essentially just smeared with colored oil, is valued at $1 billion. Now we're jumping up to $2 billion to introduce the Cullinan diamond. This right here is the most expensive luxury item ever, entirely thanks to its sheer rarity and unparalleled prestige. Just think about that for a second. A single rock, literally dug out of the dirt, costing $2 billion. What's truly crazy is how this thing was actually found. In 1905, the manager of a mine in South Africa was just going for a casual afternoon stroll when he randomly spotted it sticking out of a dirt wall. It ended up being the biggest diamond ever found, completely colorless, zero imperfections. It is literally the most chemically perfect rock ever produced by planet Earth. And yet nature's greatest masterpiece was casually shipped off to get cut using a standard, literal postal box. No armored guards, just in the mail. Section 2. The billions, land and palaces. Consider the absolutely wild juxtaposition of land value over time. Back in 1803, Napoleon sold the US a massive expanse of land for $15 million. That broke down to just 4 cents an acre, and it literally doubled the size of the entire United States. Meanwhile, today, a modern plot of land in New York City containing nothing more than a concrete parking lot recently cost $3 billion. So how on earth does a tiny parking lot cost more than a fifth of the United States? Well, because land is valued for its potential. The Louisiana Purchase was a gamble on an uncharted frontier. That parking lot sits dead in the center of one of the most valuable financial districts on Earth, where the land supply is artificially restricted. But, the houses we put on top of that land push those numbers even further. We're stepping the price up again from regular billions to $4.6 billion for Antilia. This is the single most expensive private residence in the entire world, built by the richest man in India. Antilia perfectly captures the absolute extremes of personal wealth, along with some pretty dark secrets. It is a towering personal monument. It boasts a 168-car garage, 3 helipads, and get this, even a dedicated snow room just to escape the heat. But the dark secret? This entire multi-billion-dollar structure was built right on top of an orphanage. And to keep this massive building running day and night, it requires a full-time staff of 600 servants. Now, as crazy as Antilia is, the most expensive house ever is actually Buckingham Palace. In 1761, King George III bought it for just $21,000, essentially as a little shack to store his wife. Today, thanks to hundreds of years of state-funded renovations, it is scaled into a $4.9 billion, 775-room palace. Now, that value is a guess based on its prime location and historical significance, for sure, but it vividly demonstrates how time and money violently compound over centuries. Section 3. The trillions, projects, and war. When we zoom out and look at global efforts, the numbers just absolutely skyrocket. First up, the U.S. interstate highway system. It cost an inflation-adjusted $634 billion, making it the most expensive completed megaproject in history. But it historically returned about $6 for every $1 spent. Not bad. Next is Saudi Arabia's The Line, which is this massive mirrored city currently under construction out in the desert. Initially, it was pitched at $500 billion, but projected costs have now skyrocketed to a potential $8.8 trillion. But honestly, both of those monumental efforts pale in comparison to the cost of war. World War II military spending alone hit a staggering $25 trillion in today's money. And that brings us to a really profound contrast. On one hand, we have the International Space Station, which is the most expensive single object ever built by humans. It represents what happens when hundreds of thousands of experts across completely different civilizations build something together in a deadly void that would normally kill a human in 90 seconds. On the other hand, we have World War II. The unmatched global destruction cost $25 trillion, left 70 million dead, mostly civilians, and shows exactly the terrible, astronomical cost of the world coming apart. Section 4. Antimatter, the $62.5 trillion gram. Okay, so to understand this jaw-dropping price tag, we first need to know what this substance actually is. See, every single particle in the universe has an antiparticle with an exact opposite charge. When normal matter and antimatter touch, they completely annihilate each other and release immense, pure energy. To give you an idea of the raw power we're talking about here, just 1 single gram of antimatter could release more energy than 3 Hiroshima atomic bombs. It could literally be the absolute most efficient energy source ever discovered. But there is a massive, massive catch. I like to call this the banana problem. Did you know bananas actually produce antimatter naturally? It's true. Every 75 minutes, an isotope in a banana decays and produces 1 single particle of antimatter, but it's entirely useless to us. If you had 1 banana for every human that has ever existed in history, you would still have to wait 97 times the age of the universe to get just 1 gram. And worse, those banana particles vanish in 125 picoseconds. That is 1/billionth of a blink of an eye. So since bananas won't cut it, manufacturing it ourselves is absurdly difficult. You literally have to fire tiny particles at almost the speed of light, crash them violently into a metal rod, and then somehow catch the microscopic debris inside a perfect vacuum before it touches anything and annihilates. Because of that incredibly complex, energy-intensive process, NASA estimates that manufacturing just 1 single gram of antimatter would cost $62.5 trillion. Let that sink in for a moment. $62.5 trillion for a single gram. This is the answer to our question at the very start of the explainer. If you saved $1 billion a day for your entire life, you wouldn't even be close to affording a gram of antimatter. It is the absolute pinnacle of earthly value. And to really emphasize the utter, baffling absurdity of this $62.5 trillion price tag, there is currently only 1 facility on Earth that does this. In its entire existence, they have managed to make less than 10 billionths of a gram of antimatter. Think about that. All that effort, all that money, all that groundbreaking science, and the total amount they've created would only yield enough energy to power a standard light bulb for about 4 hours. Section 5. The priceless universe, beyond earthly value. We've talked about millions, billions, and even that staggering $62.5 trillion price tag for a speck of antimatter. But what happens when we look up? If someone owned that antimatter, it would probably be an entire country, right? Well, the United States is already worth about $180 trillion. The entire Earth is worth about $5 quadrillion. But humans struggle and fight to hoard this wealth, paying literal trillions to create invisible specks of antimatter. While right above us, the universe is filled with infinite, absolutely free wealth. There are asteroids floating around right now containing quintillions of dollars worth of gold and platinum. The sun is made of burning gas worth $30 nonillion. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought. We spend trillions fighting wars, displacing people from massive mansions and firing particles at light speed just to manufacture value. But if the universe contains infinite wealth just floating out there for free, what is the true cost of our obsession with creating earthly value? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope it completely changes how you look at the price tag on, well, absolutely everything.
If you enjoyed this video and want to watch more amazing content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.